Here's how to tie the Prusik Hitch knot. It's most commonly used in climbing to climb up a rope because as you pull it, it provides a lot of friction. But as you release it, you can freely move the knot upwards the rope. To tie this knot, you first need to get a Prusik loop, which is essentially a fixed loop which is created with a double fisherman's knot. Place the end of the loop in front of the rope and then take the other end and wrap it around the rope. Now continue wrapping it around another 2 or 3 times. Now take the end with the knot and pull it to one side. And finally, dress this knot so that in the end it looks exactly like this. It's important to do this part because it improves the overall friction. If you pull on it and it still slides, then you can wrap it around another time. The good thing about the Prusik loop is that you can load it in both directions and it still works just as fine. Its only downside is that it will not work with frozen or wet rope. In these instances, it's better to use a mechanical Prusik. To ascend a rope using Prusik loops, you need to get 2 loops, one on top and one at the bottom. You need to attach the top one to your climbing harness and you can place your feet through the bottom one. Essentially, you need to pull up the top Prusik loop, then the bottom one, then again the first one, and by doing this, you can slowly and safely climb up a climbing rope. Here's how to tie a figure 8 follow-through knot, also sometimes referred to as the rewoven figure of 8 knot. Start by creating a figure 8 knot at the end of your rope. Take a rather long piece of rope, then go under, up, under, and through the final opening. The finished knot should look something like this, and it should have a rather long piece of rope at the end of it. Now take the end of the rope and go over the attachment point that you'll be using. Now you need to retrace the figure of 8 that you just made, just in the other direction. To make sure that it's tied correctly, make sure that it has 3 sets of parallel ropes on each side. It's a very strong knot that's most commonly used in climbing for attaching to the harness, but you can also use it anytime you need to create a strong connection to a fixed object. The knot tightens by itself when it's pulled, so it doesn't require a stopper knot. But a lot of people, especially climbers, like to add another double overhand stopper knot for additional safety. Here's how to tie the Alpine Butterfly Bend. Take the end of the first rope and wrap it around your left hand once and place the end between your 2 fingers like this. Now take the end of the second rope, place it next to the first one and wrap it around once again like this so that both ends cross over here. Finally, take the ends of both ropes with your other hand, place them over and underneath the 2 bottom strands to finish the knot. Use it anytime you need to connect 2 ropes. It's very secure and super easy to learn, which is why it's a really useful knot to know. You can even use it for critical situations like climbing, but remember to keep the tag ends pretty long to account for slippage while the knot settles in. Here's how to tie the Clove Hitch, which is one of the most useful knots to know in everyday situations. To tie it, take the end of the rope and go around the post on the right side, then go around it once again, but this time on the left side, and finally tug the end of the rope underneath this strand over here and tighten it. But also make sure to dress the knot neatly together so that there's no slack when you pull on it. It isn't the most secure hitch, but it's pretty strong and you can tie it very easily, but what's even better, you can untie it very easily when you don't need it anymore. If you want to make it more secure, you can tie another half hitch around it here in the front. Instead of a half hitch, a lot of people like to do another clove hitch on the top, but I found that the bottom clove hitch usually tends to seize up pretty badly if you do that. Here's how to tie the double fisherman's knot. It's used to create a very strong connection between 2 ropes of similar diameters. Start by placing the ends of each rope next to each other. Put your thumb on the first rope and go around it with the second one. Now go around it once again, this time forming an X. Finally, take out your thumb and pass the working end through both of these loops. This is called a double overhand stopper knot, and you can check that it's tied correctly by making sure that the strands are parallel on one side and forming an X on the other one. Now form another double overhand stopper knot, only in the other direction and with the other rope. To finish the knot, pull on both ends of the rope. This connection is so strong that it can be used for life-threatening situations. For example, you can connect two shorter ropes and then use it for rock climbing. Just make sure to leave the ends at least a few inches long to account for slippage, because as you tighten the knot, the ends can shorten a bit, especially under very heavy loads. It's a bit hard to untie, but not impossible to do with a bit of patience. If you want to learn other useful knots, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.